Welcome
back
to another episode of
the
the
Fuzzy Pod. We're happy to have you.
We're trying our best to get things together today. We were slowly falling apart, trying to figure out something as simple as an intro, but we made it.
I wasn't falling apart. What are you saying? It's just because my eye's been twitching from stress, but
so
it's
sorry.
fine.
I've had that happen too, and it's not fun.
It's not cute, but
And
there's
there's-
worse things in life.
There's
so.
a thing you can really do about it. And I know you said earlier that you were trying to pinpoint where the stress is coming from, but
Yeah, it
just
just
kind
doesn't
of-
exist.
existential.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. How are you doing?
I'm good. I feel a little hot. It feels warm in
It's
this room.
warm, right?
Why is it?
No, I was warm. So we just actually saw a movie together.
Yes.
Before this, which
We-
probably was a mistake because now I feel like the sleepies from popcorn and
100%. Also, we saw a movie at 11 a.m., which is so early. So it kind of throws your whole day off, like being in a really dark room and then coming back out. And it's like, whoa, I still have a whole day like in front of
the
me.
whole world is ahead of me. And it's a Monday.
And it's a Monday. Well, I say the whole world's in front of us and
Ooh.
the day is, we have so much day to go. But we just, apparently, I guess we're not done with daylight savings. And so we
What do you
fell
mean?
back this weekend. You didn't realize this? We gained an extra hour.
Oh, you mean because they're still doing it?
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Did they vote to not do it here?
I thought so.
because they voted to not do it in California like a long time ago.
But maybe it's
it
not, like,
takes a while.
implemented yet.
Yeah, it takes a while to implement, I guess.
That also just throws things off because your
No,
day is like getting
You're
dark at like 5
so-
o'clock.
You're so right. Because Ted and I yesterday went to go run some errands. He took me to Target and didn't complain, which was a real treat. Date
He
night.
wasn't like, it's time to go. No, we can't have another candle. No, we don't
actually
need
did get
that.
a candle.
Okay.
We did get a candle.
Wait, that's the one thing actually I can get Cooper on board with. I
Yeah.
said candle as an example, but Cooper will never say no to a candle.
They're just so good.
They set
They're
the
so
vibe. They
good.
smell good. Anyways, okay.
So we
continue.
did get a candle, but then we went grocery shopping, and it was like maybe like 3:30 or 4 when we went to Target, and we went to the grocery store next door. I went to Trader Joe's, and when we were leaving the Trader Joe's, it was pitch black, and I was like, oh my! It was like, how long were we in there?
Like, I know sometimes you get distracted by all the seasonal snacks.
Yeah, and it was not
but
dark whenever we went into the store, so I was like, I am so confused. It was 5:30.
Dude,
It was
because
5:30.
I don't know if you know this because you're new to Nashville. We are really close to where like the cutoff is for like the Eastern time zone.
Yes.
So it's getting darker even faster than other parts of the
Oh,
world.
really? Is
Like,
that why?
Because like for someone else is 6:30. It's looking about the same.
Yeah, because like within
our
Tennessee
5:30.
itself, like you can go to a different part of Tennessee and it's a different time zone.
Yeah, like Chattanooga.
yeah, which is what?
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
I know, right?
That doesn't make sense.
We went to Atlanta this last weekend, Cooper and I, for a concert. And while we were there, like Atlanta is an hour ahead. So on our drive back, it's like we gained an extra hour. It's nice for in situations like that. But
Yeah,
most of
that's
the time,
true.
No. So get ready. The winters here get very dark. It's sad. But we won't make it
Depressed.
sad, okay?
Wait,
We
what?
will work through the winter sads together.
But the sun comes up earlier, or no? Or the day's just shorter. In general.
wait. Because we fell back. Oh gosh, don't make me do this. Okay, so if it was like 9 a.m., it is now 8 a.m. is now what used to be 9 a.m.
Yeah,
So then it would be brighter. Yeah, but we already, I think,
but the
in
days
general,
are still shorter.
in winter, it already is a shorter day. Yeah, without us like interfering with, adjusting the clocks. So we need to stop doing that, and I'm glad eventually we will. Don't think about it too much. Did you know
It's
that
making
like
my eye literally my eyes twitching right
Did
now.
you know that like more car accidents happen during daylight savings?
Thanks. I have to drive after this.
No, like usually like the day after because like that hour like messes with people. Like Cooper was out the other
Cool.
day, like it was the day after. Like yeah, when we woke up, the clocks have been reset during the night. He was like, "Man, the vibes are just weird out here." And I was like, "Daylight savings, I'm telling you."
Mercury's in retrograde.
It's like it messes
kidding.
like look up the stats. It's like scientific.
I don't know. I've
No,
never heard
I'm
that.
telling you, it's
I don't know.
scientific. She's like, I don't know if
I
I,
don't trust
believe you.
statistics.
She's like, I
to be
don't
honest.
trust the science.
I took like this one statistics class in college, and it made me just not trust any statistics.
You know what though? Okay.
There's so many
We're not
factors.
going to explain ourselves further. We watched a half an episode of Naked Attraction, and the amount
Don't
of times,
ask us questions.
The amount of times that they would like all of a sudden try to make it like this
Like
show
scientific.
is scientific.
Yeah.
They'd be like, scientists say that women prefer, and I'm like, no, scientists. What scientists?
And scientists say it literally was like we watched like maybe half of an episode, and it was like 4 times.
Scientists say men love and then they would when she has like, a perky behind. Like,
and then it would like come up with like a little diagram and like a little animated like.
Scientists say she loves it when he keeps it tight. I don't know. It's like literally what it was saying, and I'm like, please,
I'm crying. One of them was literally like back to prehistoric times, like women were attracted to the men who could blah blah blah,
who had like a strong butt or something.
Yeah, and that's why women are attracted to men with nice behinds. Like,
I'm like, okay. No one's watching this for the science.
No one's saying that this
is bizarre reality
show.
TV.
This is not the Discovery Channel.
No, I'm done. Anyways, but scientists say that daylight savings has an effect on people.
It's not that I don't believe you. It's not you.
Okay.
It's just it's the statistics for me.
Okay. No, it's fine. That's fair.
I feel like I want to trust statistics, but there's just so many factors.
Anyways, the movie we saw today was Priscilla. Do you want to give quick thoughts on Priscilla before we get into our core of the episode?
So we just saw Priscilla. It was, I mean, I really enjoyed it. You really enjoyed it, I think.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's like kind of put everything into like a new perspective. Like I kind of forgot that they had such a big age gap between Priscilla and Elvis. And I feel like maybe it's more of like a thing that like women can relate to of like, I don't know. It's a surprising amount of women that find themselves in relationships, whether short-term or long-term, where they're with like a partner that's significantly older than them in certain seasons. Like I remember when like Demi Lovato had like a song, I can't remember what it was called, maybe called 29. It's about like her perspective of like being that age of like how her boyfriend was that was like way older than her at the time and being like, whoa, like why were you with me? Like I was a child.
Yeah.
Like anyways, kind of a lot of that kind of experiences that some of us have had. Maybe it was like kind of seen in this movie.
I think it was just like showing to like how like he did want to be with her because she was young. Like he was like, oh, like I can basically make like my perfect bride
who won't question anything and will stay and just hold down the fort while I go and be Elvis.
Tend to the fires.
Yeah.
Or whatever he said.
Yeah. But Jacob Elordi, is that his last name?
I think so.
I thought he did a phenomenal job as Elvis.
Yeah. I was telling Ted I just like started watching Euphoria because I'd never watched it like when it was like all the hype, and so I started watching it recently. And I was like, I feel like I'm on an emotional roller coaster with this man as an actor. Like
you hate him in that show
because also,
he's awful. I mean, you don't like him in this movie either.
No,
but
you don't like him in this movie
charming.
either. Yeah, but like also before Euphoria, I saw him in like, oh gosh, I feel like it was like a Netflix movie or something. I'm trying to remember.
Wait, did I make this up? Was he with Joey King?
Yes, that's what yes.
Was he in Kissing Booth?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
The same guy?
I think so. Hang on.
Joey King just got married.
He is.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I first saw him in Kissing Booth.
Oh my
I never watched Euphoria.
Yeah.
And so like from that like movie, like he's like,
it's
a
a
rom-com, right?
Yeah.
And they like dated for a long time too. So you're kind of like, oh, cute. And then I watched Euphoria and I was like, ugh, like this man is disgusting. And now I'm gonna like hate him even more. Like watching Elvis, like it's just all gonna be all over the place. My emotions with this actor. But he did a great job. It was really good. But yeah, the movie overall, I just really enjoyed. Like, I feel like we were talking about it was like slow paced, but for like my viewing experience, I feel like it needed to be because it was like slowly showing like her progression of like gaining her strength and realizing that she can be like independent and like she doesn't have to just like be defined, I think, by her relationship and figuring out like the strength that she has within herself to be like, okay, like no, I'm my own person.
Yeah.
And like figuring out who I am. And yes, I love this man and like I have this like deep love for this man, but like I cannot continue down this path. And I think like she would still say like she loves him.
Yeah.
Like she's still like she never got remarried. Like she dated and had long-term relationships and had like a kid with someone else, but like never got remarried because she was just like, I can't. Like
that was the love of my life.
Yeah.
No, that was like kind of crazy. So like the ending scene is like showing when she's like officially like leaving him and like leaving Graceland. And the song choice they had at the end of the movie just fit it so perfectly. It was I Will Always Love You, but Dolly Parton's version.
It was so good.
And you're just like, oh my gosh, wait.
Am I crying?
And the outfits.
Oh, the outfits were so
The wardrobe
good.
was phenomenal. Everything I was like, I would like this. I would like this. Thank you.
Yeah.
This movie was written and directed, by the way, by Sofia Coppola. And Madison just wants to do a deep dive on the Coppola family at some point. Even just for herself.
We have to. Okay? We just have to.
Related to Nicholas Holt.
There is
Nicholas Holt, what? Nicolas Cage. Maybe.
Probably.
Who knows?
Who knows? I did think it was funny in the new, this is like unrelated to Priscilla, in the new movie that Nick Cage is in, how he doesn't have like hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, spent so much money to get the plugs.
Just to wear a bald cap and
just to wear a bald cap
in movies. Please.
Do you think that was hard for him?
Please. Please. Anyways, Priscilla, I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I think that's what my final rating was.
You said 7.5. I said 7. Ted said 6.
Ooh.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like it as much as we did.
He gives like every movie a 10 out of 10, so that means he hated it.
That's so true, though. Madison's husband's very generous for throwing around 10s for movies because he's a filmmaker himself.
It's because I think he's like opposite of like most people who are like, I'm a filmmaker, because I feel like he just appreciates, like he's like that took them a lot, to make that.
He knows the effort that goes into making something. Totally.
But I also think that we were like, it feels different watching it as like a woman, probably, because you see that like the slow pace of it, I think, is like you're seeing it like grow, and you're like, okay, yes, like this feels like a very genuine
and how
representation.
How she like learned to like handle him, so to speak.
Yes.
In his certain like waves of emotion, and how to like basically to survive.
Yes, because like in the beginning, like she fights back a little bit more. And he's like, no, that's not what I want from you. So like either,
be more
submissive or fine, leave. I'm sorry, baby, I love you.
Please. No, literally like half the movie, Elvis would always just be like, I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry, baby. And so, of course, naturally, Cat in the Hat was one of our favorite childhood movies. And
still one of my favorite movies.
All we could think of is that quote from
Daddy How.
The Cat in the Hat, where he says it almost identical to Jacob Elordi as Elvis.
He does. He
goes,
sorry, baby,
I love you.
Inspired.
If you know the scene.
If you know, you know. That's all I can say. If you don't, then I'm sorry for you.
We have the weirdest nostalgic movie quotes, and
that is one of them. That is something I say frequently. Okay, last thing about the Priscilla movie. My only complaint, well, I probably have other complaints, but my biggest complaint is that they did not do Elvis correctly in his later years. Oh, he was like skinny. He had like a 6-pack in the beginning.
Yeah, Maddie was like,
I was like, Elvis never.
He didn't look like that.
Elvis never. I like, trust me, I wouldn't know. Okay.
Maddie in her childhood, she was obsessed with Elvis.
It's true.
She had all of his movies. She had like
I literally read like his biography, like for fun.
Yeah.
Like I was like obsessed. I don't know why, but I mean, I still love his like his music and stuff like that. Like I still like the aesthetic that is Elvis, but
I mean,
he had his issues, but I also think that there was a lot going on there that
you never know. We'll never know.
You never know.
Seems like we know of like mental health issues too.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I think he himself was manipulated as well. So that's like sad. But hurt people.
Anyways, Elvis deep dive win. Just kidding.
No, we gotta do the Coppola family first.
Speaking of niche movie quotes, and then I swear, well, honestly, this kind of has to do with the theme of today's episode because
did we say the theme of today's episode?
No, we haven't. So our whole podcast
ranting.
Our whole podcast is built on nostalgia. That was the whole idea of the Fuzzy Pod. Leaning into those things that give you those warm, fuzzy feelings, which a lot of those things have to do with our childhood.
Our childhood, yeah.
The late 90s and early 2000s were such an iconic time.
Chef's
and
kiss.
people that grew up in that time, I feel like nostalgia is also huge for them right now. I mean, obviously, because this whole episode was inspired by this trend that's been going on for the last couple of months on TikTok, where it's basically just slideshows of images from either toys or schools that, school settings and just things from our childhood that have unlocked a lot of memories. And it's always set to the saddest music, y'all. And like makes
They want you to be depressed.
Yeah, you're like scrolling through like 20 photos and it's like, oh my gosh, I remember those snacks they discontinued, and remember that TV show, and oh my gosh, remember that online game.
Do you remember Grips?
I'm sorry. Let's get to that in 2 seconds, though. It's literally going to be the whole point of this episode.
Sorry.
But like, you're just like, write that down. You're just like scrolling through, and the next thing you're like, why am I crying? It's like I'm yearning for like this time that like used to exist in my life.
So wholesome.
And it felt so wholesome of a time period. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. So today we're going to be just basically, it's one long rant of nostalgia talking about, hey, do you remember this? We literally just made a list and it says, do you remember this? And we're going to kind of go back and forth, and maybe you'll hear something and it'll unlock, a childhood memory that's back in the brain.
Back in the brain. Unlock it. Let it out.
It'll make you go, oh yeah.
And hopefully it brings a smile to your face.
But movie quotes.
Movie quotes, yes. Oh, sorry.
I just watched Polar Express last night.
Why are you already watching Polar Express?
That's what Cooper said. He was
Why
like,
didn't you invite me?
Christmas already?
No. I was watching Christmas with the Cranks last night. I thought maybe we could coordinate our Christmas.
Okay. So we'll check those two off. We've already watched them. Polar Express I was watching. First of all, did you know that the lead boy, like and girl in that movie, don't have names?
Yes, I did know that.
They're just called like Hero Boy and Hero Girl.
Yeah.
Thanks. Side note. The other thing is, I realized that we quoted something from the Polar Express, and I had no idea. Specifically, you did. They show a clip of this kid, and they're trying to decide if he goes on the naughty or nice list. And they're like replaying this tape of this kid basically like saying he's saying I didn't do it to his parents. I think he got like accused of putting gum in his sister's hair.
Yeah, something like that.
And so the elves are like replaying this clip over and over, and this kid's like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And you would always quote it, but you would say it just like that. Even to do the little and I was like, whoa, I forgot that that's what this was from.
Oh my
and that
gosh,
she used to do that. I think you still do that. Also, do you know Tom Hanks plays like 6 characters in that movie and did mocap for so many of them?
Yeah.
It was going to do for more, but he was exhausted. And then it took them 4 years.
Yes. I just remember too that reminds me of like, I'm sure we've talked about this before, like whenever you'd come into like school and you'd go into the classroom and the TV would be there. And I remember watching Polar Express one time.
Oh, that was the best. It was usually like a substitute, but not always.
Well, it could be like right before a holiday too, where the like teachers were like, or after like our state testing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you finished your test
you could watch a movie.
You could go watch a movie.
I forgot about that.
Oh, I loved test day. Wait, that's nostalgic.
Nostalgic. She's like, ooh, test.
Well, I like test day because I would always like pick out a specific like outfit that was like comfy, right? Like,
yeah. Oh,
you have your sweat set,
your loungewear for the day.
Your loungewear that you bought just for test day.
The pink sweats. No, not the pink sweats. Remember the pink yoga pants with the wide band?
Yoga pants. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, those were so iconic. I feel like they were also like aimed at people like a little bit older than us, but like you know how things just kind of like trickle down.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe I had a pair, and then like
I had so many pairs. Well, I think also like I wore them for like cheer practice stuff as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
you just when you said like wearing cozy wear, like I remember planning outfits around that. That's crazy.
Literally, like it was like it's because every other day for school, like we would dress up like relatively. You and I like enjoyed fashion, so like we would like dress up. Probably like nicer.
We weren't like wearing high heels in the hallways. We weren't gossip girling it. We've talked about this before, but compared to like the average student,
yeah. But so like that was like a special day because we were like, oh, we get to wear a cozy.
We're gonna be casual.
We're gonna
casual Friday,
extra casual, and I'm gonna finish my test early and go watch a movie and take a nap. Heck yeah,
dude, taking a nap at school. I took a lot of unintentional naps. Specifically, like I slept through most of my like freshman year algebra class. It was a sophomore class. It was after lunch, and for some reason after lunch it would just when you get that like lunch slump.
Yeah, after your mac and
like
cheese
kind of
and
like
donuts that you would have for
yeah,
lunch.
exactly. Kind of like we almost had right before this pod and we got it together. But we're talking about things we enjoy when, your teacher is just talking about algebra and you're feeling tired. It's already been kind of a longer day. I say a longer day. That would have been 11 o'clock because I had lunch at 10:30 a.m.
But also
you've been up since 5.
At like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been up since 5. So it hit like 11 and I'd had my lunch sitting and I would the amount of notes that I had that were squiggles. Because I would start drifting in the middle of class.
Oh my gosh.
But I never got in trouble.
You okay?
I don't know. You know what? Actually, no. All right, let's get into it, or we'll just keep ranting about who knows what. But let's start with something that we all relate to. Polly Pocket clothes.
Eating Polly Pocket clothes.
Eating
or
Polly
not
Pocket
eating,
clothes.
But gnawing on.
Gnawing on.
is a better way to phrase it. The shoes were just so enticing. I mean, all the clothes.
What's so funny about this one is this has become like so widespread. Like this has been like the shared experience that I've heard about the most online.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like the discourse around this. I was like, oh, there really are no unique experiences.
Yeah.
We truly were all eating these.
I would
when it
chew
comes
on
to
a Polly Pocket
today. Oh, that's not what I was going to say. But
today.
the answer to that is also maybe yeah. But
I can still feel it.
I was going to say, toys go through so much testing before they're like out on the market to like see how they're received.
Like focus groups.
Yes.
They knew what they were doing.
I know. That's what I'm
the kids were like, and they were like, sold.
You know what?
Because they're going to need to buy so many clothes.
Yes, they're going to be addicted.
Yeah.
They were like,
the way
we got to get these out there.
I would try it again today. Would try again.
Speaking of eating things, I also wrote down lip smackers used to make the most scrumptious flavors. What? What? They'd have like chocolate, Dr. Pepper.
Hershey's chocolate, Dr. Pepper.
And it smelled delicious. So when something smells so delicious, you're going to be intrigued to, take a little bite.
Remember Big Red?
They made oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure they made a Big Red one.
Does Big Red still exist?
Yeah.
Big Red was a soda that I believe was made by Dr. Pepper.
I think so. I know for a long time it was like only sold in Texas, or it may only be sold in Texas.
Probably because that red dye that it's made with is illegal in most states. I'm just kidding.
Hell yeah, brother. Texas strong.
I don't know if that's true, but
I love Big Red.
Oh, I haven't had it in so long.
And neither have I, but I loved it.
But they would make
but they would make those flavors
like this. So when you're a kid, you're like, that smells good. But can I tell you something that I have a vivid memory of?
Did you eat it?
Well, okay. But the story of how I ate it
to the end.
is what's funnier to me. I couldn't have been more than like 6, but I vividly remember like when mom wasn't looking, I took the chapstick and went into, please, why? It's like I was doing something shameful. I went into a closet and closed the door so I could try it. I rolled it up.
She said, I'm a hide because it's so shameful. I have to hide my sin.
It was the chocolate flavored one.
The Hershey's,
I rolled that thing up till
like
it was like
roll.
halfway out of the tube, if not more, like just
they
like about
Tootsie
to fall
roll,
out.
Yeah.
And took a hump. If I think about it and close my eyes, I can still kind of taste it.
What it
and
tastes like?
It was just like rubber, plastic, because obviously nothing chocolate about it. And it was like kind of like pasty, but burnt. I don't know. It was,
Would you
awful.
Try it again?
Oh, no. Would I try it again? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Like today?
Yeah.
No, maybe for like
for money.
A money goal. I mean, how much are you talking?
$100. And I'll buy the lip smackers.
We'll talk.
My memory of those is like I used to get really bad like chapped lips as a kid. I think it was because I was always like nervous. I was kind of like biting my lips, and so it would get like red.
The Kool-Aid kid lips from like
yeah. And so I just remember the burn.
Oh no!
What was the one in the? I think the chapstick brand, the one that had like the black label and it smelled like minty and it was like kind of
like green
pink.
One.
No.
The one that our cousin was addicted to?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I do remember
I think
that
of
that one cousin always, like, as a kid, just like,
Yes. Chapstick is addicting, though. That is factual.
Yeah, that is very true.
Scientists say.
Scientists say. I don't use chapstick anymore, but I do have this like lip balm, so it's practically like the same. You know, as soon as I said that,
we're addicted to the same one.
I'm addicted to that, and I'm addicted to lip gloss because my chat knows on our stream, Cooper and I's Twitch stream, that like as the stream goes on, I will right before a game, if I'm feeling like, you know, out of it, I'll take a pause and I'll reset my lip gloss.
Wow. Wow. She's addicted and she doesn't even know it.
All right, what else is on the list? Purple ketchup.
Bring back purple ketchup.
Oh, no. Don't listen to her.
Bring it back.
Did you actually try it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes, I loved it. As a kid.
I couldn't get past the aesthetic of it.
You never tried it?
No, I did. It also, I was convinced it tasted different.
It did taste different. It was gross.
Hated it because of that.
It was gross. But you also didn't like ketchup.
No, I didn't love ketchup.
You were a honey person.
Yeah, I dipped my chicken nuggets in honey, and I still do. It's fine. It's delicious. I mean, chicken and waffles is like a thing, and like that's like syrup, you know, and that's like.
No, it's not weird. No one thinks it's weird.
Okay. Well, people used to think, back when I was a kid, I just would twiggle.
She's just so different.
When I was a kid. No, literally, when I was a kid, people would make fun of me.
The people she's referring to is me.
No, other students. Because I would bring chicken nuggets to school, so I'd eat chicken nuggets to school.
I'm the problem, it's me. I think I told you this the other day. I think the reason that I made fun of you with the whole honey situation, I am sorry.
You're fine.
It's because
I was trying to talk about the other colors of ketchup.
It's because I think I just associate it with like sticky fingers.
And you hate
and you were kind of a messy person, so I felt like everything was sticky.
Yeah, I was that sticky kid.
Yeah.
I was a sticky kid.
I actually didn't eat honey until I was older because I thought it was so disgusting.
That's why I can't have a kid, because I was a sticky kid and I know I'm going to have a sticky Kool-Aid mouth kid. I'm crying.
Not the Kool-Aid mouth. Okay, what other colors did they have? They had like a green one.
Yes.
That I remember.
Green and purple.
They have orange?
I was going to say, wasn't there like a yellowy one or something? Or
wouldn't that just be mustard?
Maybe it was just green and purple. We should have done our research.
I remember the green and the purple.
Yeah, those two stuck out the most. Because, I mean, green and purple ketchup, it's sinful. It's not right. If you miss it, no, you don't. Like,
it's right. She's wrong. I'm just kidding.
You could probably make it yourself.
Wait. Do you remember? We never bought it, but I always remember seeing it at the grocery store and always being like, that looks interesting. The peanut butter and jelly. I think it was called like Goobers or something. I don't know.
It was mixed together.
Yeah.
The peanut butter and jelly swirl in a jar. They probably still make that, right? Or is that like pretty 90s? Don't just have a jar for peanut butter and have a jar for jelly. What if it was all in one?
Yeah. Smuckers. They still make it. We can get it from Target right now.
Right now.
Or a Walmart's Great Value version for half the price called Creamy Stripes.
Creamy Stripes. Love it. We have to talk about this one toy that, do you remember these at all, by the way? Betty Spaghetty.
Okay, I have like vague memories. I'm going to look up a picture.
It's slightly terrifying in the sense that she was like really stretchy. She had really long arms. It was like a toy that had really long arms and really long legs. And she had a big ponytail that had like little plastic like
spaghetti hair.
Yeah, like spaghetti noodle hair. Betty Spaghetty. And she was around the time of like when Barbie was huge, when Polly Pockets were huge. And so because of her competitors, like she wasn't on the market for a very long time. I think I looked it up. Like she was from 1998 to 2004. So and then they stopped making them. And then they brought it back for like a year in 2007 to 2008. And
Betty made a comeback.
And then they stopped making them again. And then another company like bought the rights to Betty Spaghetty, like designed her and everything, brought her back again, but then only made her for like a couple years and stopped in 2017. But like the OG Betty Spaghettis, I feel like, I don't know. I thought they were like so cute. Or, like if you looked up a picture of them, like they're still like so fun. And I feel like the way you changed their outfits from my memory was like you would like
did they snap or
snap
something?
the pieces on? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Betty Spaghetty, I feel like was underrated.
I think so too. Her aesthetic's cool.
I know. This was like in the era of like big Polly Pocket too.
Yes,
like the rubber clothes Polly Pocket, not like the tinies.
Not the tinies.
Because I grew up with both.
Although the tinies were so cute.
I need to know what happened to some of mine.
Yes, because the little like they would come in like these little like cases almost, and it was like their whole house was in there. So like we had this like little heart-shaped one that you like opened up and then like your Polly Pocket would like fit in there, and it was like a whole little like scene, like a whole little like house inside this little like heart-shaped like compact almost.
Dude, I feel like those are worth something now too. Like, yeah, exactly. It was a heart-shaped compact, it looked like, and you open it up and her whole house was in there.
So cute.
Like, it's adorable.
Yeah.
We used to also like have a version of Polly Pocket where she had a house with a magnetic like floor.
Yes.
So you could like stick her onto it and then use like a lever or whatever to like kind of move her around. And it would like shift her around and move around the room.
So cool.
Oh, I forgot about those. I just thought of it just now. Oh, there were so many iterations of Polly Pocket, but
there's so many things.
The one that I feel like people forget about is Polly Pocket Online.
I don't know if I remember Polly Pocket Online games.
Like, I swear it had something to do with like Polly Pocket becoming a pop star, and she had like a limousine, but that's like the only images I see in my head.
Yeah. No, I don't think I ever played it, but I do remember having like, this is like such a vivid, like vivid/vague, because it's both, and I don't know if it's real, but I remember having like this car, and I don't know if it was Polly Pocket or if it was Barbie, but like it was like a car that converted into like a stretch limo that had like a hot tub.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, it had like a hot tub in the back, and like I'm pretty sure it played music. Like I think if you like hit the horn,
which is like such a funny kid's toy to think about.
It feels very weird to me that it like,
wait.
that, but I don't know.
Look it up. I totally remember
car
this.
That turns into a stretch limo.
Maddie, I have great news. We can get this limo on eBay for $10.
Heck yeah! Wait,
that counts as a write-off, right?
I see it, but it's also $11 for shipping. So
oh no.
I have another one. And this one has a little bit more of a story, I think, of an experience that we shared together that scared us and I think bonded us. Please. And that has to do with my dear beloved Teletubby toy that I had. So,
guys,
I was obsessed with the Teletubbies. Specifically, I guess the red one was my favorite.
I think that one's named Poe, maybe?
Yeah, maybe his name was Poe. I don't know. Twinkie Dinky la la la.
Is that the song?
I think so. Something like that.
Twinkie Dinky la la Poe Dipsy.
Oh. I feel like it went like this for some reason. I don't know why I keep doing that. Poe! Yeah, so I had been gifted for like Christmas or something a little doll of the red Teletubby, and he would say like certain phrases. I'm pretty sure if you like squeezed his belly or something. So
when I remember he'd be like Tubby Tubby. Big hug.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, he's had like a couple things that he would say. But at one point, he just kind of stopped working. Like we tried to put, I think, new batteries on him and he just didn't work. And so he had no batteries in him. That's important.
It's a key detail. Key detail. He had no batteries.
We had like in our like family room, this like pile of like some of our stuffed animals. So we had some like bigger stuffed animals too. You had like a giant
Baby Bop from Barney.
And so he was just kind of like in the pile. So Megan was like one day like climbing up a bookcase to like grab something, which was not safe.
No.
And I'm just sitting there watching because I'm just a baby. I can pay you in blocks. And I'm just watching, and she proceeds to fall. I don't even know what you're trying to get, but thankfully lands in the pile of stuffed animals that we had just lying there. And all of a sudden we just hear, uh-oh.
Yeah, literally just like that. Uh-oh.
And it was none other than the Teletubby that had no batteries. And on top of that, we had never heard him say uh-oh before.
No, I was like, we were both convinced. We were like, he's never said that.
He's never said uh-oh.
He says Tubby Tubby big hug and some other things.
And he giggles or something like that.
I never heard him say
uh-oh. And I'm pretty sure we threw that stuffed animal away.
No, we 100% put him in the trash the next day. We told Mom, he's got demons.
He's possessed, Mom. Understand.
It's above our pay grade. We can't exercise this thing. We just gotta get it out of here.
I can't. We gotta get the pasta up in here. We're gonna have to burn it. I don't know.
I don't know the procedures for something like this when it comes to a toy that's possessed, but this toy is definitely possessed.
And we checked. I do remember specifically checking, and it did not have batteries in it.
That house already felt haunted, the specific house where this incident happened. So maybe the spirit that haunted that one bedroom found its way
into the
Teletubby's body, and it became its new vessel.
Anyways, we got rid of it. But I don't know. Comment if you also had that toy. And
did it say uh-oh?
Did it say uh-oh? I don't know. Not to my knowledge.
Hey, remember Zoo Pals?
The plates?
Yeah.
Wait, aren't they bringing those back?
Wait,
I saw something somewhere that said Zoo Pals are coming back.
Oh,
and I was like,
because nostalgia is so big right now. I'm telling you.
Yes. Okay. With Zoo Pals, you got me thinking about snacks. And we got to talk about grips.
What are grips?
Do you remember grips?
Show me a picture.
Okay. They were like these little pouches that had like different flavor. Hang on, grips snack. And I remember liking the nacho cheese ones. Oh, they still sell them. They just look different now. Then they have different flavors.
New branding.
They make them in Cheez-It form. What?
Wait, that's your favorite combination.
I know. This is what they look like. This is what the package looked like.
Dude, the packaging when we were kids, though, was like so iconic. Like the 90s
Do you remember
in Y2K packaging. I have no recollection of these. I'm sorry to this man. I have no idea what the snacks are.
I've never seen them before.
I have never seen the snacks before in my life.
Also, do you remember there was like these like kind of like the Dunkaroos, but it was like Oreos? I swear. There was one that was like an Oreo.
Yes. I do remember those.
Chef's kiss.
They probably was like a collab or something.
A collaboration.
Yeah.
Dunkaroos.
What if we just had people build their Oreos themselves? That's all it is.
Ooh, do you remember the Kool-Aids with the twist off?
Yes,
cap?
the twist cap, and then I would chew on the cap.
Yeah.
Dude, those Kool-Aids were the best version of Kool-Aid.
So good.
To me, they were better than even making Kool-Aid at home.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hot takes here.
The grape one was 10 times better in the little plastic case than with the twist off.
They used to also make them in like the pouches, and those were not it.
No.
Oh, sorry. Our producer, aka my husband, who likes to mansplain and correct us. I'm just kidding.
Please.
I'm just kidding. He said those are called, what'd you say? Okay, they're called Kool-Aid Bursts.
Kool-Aid Bursts.
Because the Kool-Aid bursts in your mouth.
Oh. So it was the flavor.
It was a flavor
profiles
burst.
were different than the
that's
regular Kool-Aid mix. Is that why it tasted better?
Oh, you look like you had information. Okay, apparently Grips had the coolest commercials.
Do you remember? I lived in a different timeline than you, apparently. I don't remember Grips at all.
Like the Go-Gurt?
Go-Gurt was
Blue
so
raspberry.
Good.
Go-Gurt.
I would slurp up a Go-Gurt right now.
Give me one.
Give me one.
Yum. Slurp, slurp.
A strawberry Go-Gurt?
Yeah, Go-Gurt was
that sounds, okay. On the yogurt train. Danimals, sweepstakes.
Yes. Do they still do Danimal sweepstakes?
Meet Cole Sprouse and Dylan Sprouse.
Meet Dylan and Cole Sprouse. Yes. I remember the commercial where they're like playing like volleyball or something. Like,
dude, the amount of times I was so sketched as a kid, I would like pick up the packaging and kind of like see if I could peek it. I'm like, is this a winner?
Is this the winner?
Is this a winner? I want to like look up who actually won that because I swear that sweepstakes went on for like a year.
That sweepstakes was going on for so long.
My whole childhood, actually.
Yeah. That was wild.
I was like convinced. I was like, I'll meet them and then one of them will want to date me.
Fun fact. Our producer, aka my husband Ted, his family actually won one of those like Pop-Tart win a Wii or something, right?
Your family won an actual food sweepstakes?
Oh, sorry. They won a $100 gift card.
What?
Yeah.
Did it take like a year to get to you though? No? They sent it right away? Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy? I've never met anyone who's actually won something from a food, like from a Pop-Tart box or anything.
Food sweepstakes winner. I've met radio, like contest radio winners. Like I had a friend take me to concerts.
Strategy.
Yeah.
Do they still make Danimals?
I don't know. It was more like a smoothie. Like a really watery smoothie.
Yeah, it was.
I was more of a Go-Gurt girl.
I feel like they were not good. The sweepstakes is still going on.
The packaging has not changed. Dylan and Cole are still on the package of Danimals. They signed like a 20-year life
lifetime contract. They actually are the founders of Danimals.
This whole time. We're like, who owns this?
And they are a part of the Coppola family.
Please. Speaking of eating things that are bad for you, do you remember balloonies? Balloons?
Were you eating those?
No.
Okay, so if you don't know what that is, it's basically...
I had to look up the name of this, by the way.
I didn't know what the name of it was until you told me. It came in like a tube. And it came with like this little straw.
You would receive a little straw and a tube of mystery paste.
It kind of was like a small tube of toothpaste, okay? And then you would like squeeze this mystery goop out and put it on the end of the straw. You kind of ball it up on the end of the straw, and then you blow on the other end to make it
a balloon. It would blow up and turn into a balloon.
And this stuff smelled so toxic. It could not have
straight
been good
gasoline.
For you.
Like, I don't even know what all was in it.
It smelled so putrid.
You ever see us like pause for a second too long here on the Fuzzy Pod? Maybe I edited it out.
And our brains are just like,
rainbow wheeling.
It's the because of the balloonies. Okay? I don't know why we were allowed to use that or play with that because it was definitely toxic.
Bro.
And don't come after us for saying that we want to smoke for the aesthetic because whatever we did with those balloonies was way worse for our lungs than a fake cigarette.
So much worse than anything we could be doing to our bodies. For real.
Those have to be banned now. Do they still make them?
They came up still, but then I was reading something saying it was banned, so maybe they came back, but with new ingredients. Like, I feel like I also saw somewhere that maybe they were around since the 80s, so I wonder if by the time we were playing with them, if it was even different then.
Probably.
So maybe, like, the 80s babies got a little more messed up even than us.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Because I don't know.
The smell. I could still smell it. Like, I remember vividly.
And if you accidentally, like, inhaled instead of exhaled, like, that could not have been good for you.
No, it could not have been. That's so gross. Why did we play with that?
I don't know.
Silly putty in the egg.
Oh my gosh. And you could take silly putty. It was basically what it sounds like. It was putty and it was silly. And
it would come in like a little egg shape.
You could roll it out and press it onto a newspaper and then peel it off. And it would have
it on there.
The ink print on there. Like, it would make an impression of the newspaper.
So cool.
Onto the silly putty.
Yeah.
Dude, and it was like weird colored. It was like kind of pinky, fleshy toned.
It kind of looked like a tongue or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Or like
silly
gum.
Putty.
I don't know why I went for tongue.
Okay, on the line of like putties, Flarp,
the best. Floam.
Floam was a little later.
Floam was cool though.
I missed Floam, I feel like.
You played with some Floam.
Well,
okay, it was my Floam, but you played with
around.
it.
I mean, it's satisfying.
It was satisfying.
I'm not saying because I was too cool to play with it. I was just saying I kind of missed that one. Instead I got the 90s kid like fart.
No, I would still buy that. You could still get that at the dollar store.
Yeah. Really?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
If you don't know what Flarp is, Flarp was like a goo. It was literally just goo in a can, and when you put your fingers in it, like and press it certain ways, it would like release like air off the sides and make fart noises. And you were like,
whoopee cushions? Whoopee cushions.
We were obsessed with farts.
We had many whoopee cushions.
It's Nickelodeon's fault.
It is.
Nickelodeon made us
That's why Mom
obsessed
didn't
with
want
farts.
us to watch Nickelodeon.
Okay, let's speed run a couple of these silly bands.
Oh, loved them.
Silly bands if you don't remember
I still have
them.
one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that
Shaped
so
like
much.
a little like bus.
Oh my gosh. So silly bands were like these bracelets, but when they were wearing
not on your wrist.
Yeah, when you're wearing them on your wrist, they just look like, like a regular bracelet, a little uneven.
Yeah.
You take them off and they'd make a shape. So you could be wearing like one shaped like a star, or like Madison said, a school bus. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's shaped like a bus. I don't know why.
You had a school pack or something?
I guess so. I don't know.
But a lot of them were shaped like animals, which was really cute. Okay, this one was kind of niche. And I saw this mentioned in one of those TikTok slideshows. Do you remember whenever you would lose a tooth at school or sometimes at the dentist, they would give you
at school
your loose tooth and put it in a treasure box. There was specifically little tiny plastic treasure boxes
oh my gosh.
made for teeth that were lost. And I think that is so funny that there was a market for that.
Someone invented that.
And I just need to know, like,
do they still do that?
Do they still make those for kids, like, losing their
I
teeth?
Hope so.
Because when I saw that,
so
I was
funny.
like, oh my gosh. Like, this is what you would sometimes put under your pillow. Like,
Yes.
I also got teeth pulled from the dentist.
Mhm.
I don't remember the reasoning why. I think it was something about my mouth being too small. Who knows? Anyways, I remember the dentist like sent me home like with my teeth, and I was like,
What do you
did
do
I
with
need those?
No,
Yeah.
I literally, this is so gross and I'm outing myself, but like I was going through, this was like a couple years ago now, but I was like going through like some of my old childhood things, and like one of them was like an old jewelry box that I haven't opened in who knows how long. There was a tooth in there. There was a tooth in there.
It was probably in our treasure box, was it?
Yeah, no, it was in like a bigger tooth, a plastic tooth, but same concept, same concept. And I was like, this is disgusting. This is so gross. But on that same track, do you remember going to the dentist and then like when you were a kid and then they would have an actual treasure box where you could get toys? I remember getting like one of those like slappy hands.
Yes.
So good.
The slappy hands were so good. And then these were actually really scary. They look like half of a rubber ball. And they were hollow. And you would flip them inside out and lay them on the floor. And then eventually they'd pop up. But sometimes those things would fly. And if you were like a kid and you were like looking down, like waiting for it, like kind of hovering over it, that could literally, take an eye out.
Those were fun though.
It was so fun. Why was it so satisfying?
I don't know.
That was like our fidget spinner or whatever.
It
was.
really was.
You know, they make a much safer version now where you can like those boards that you can like pop. It's like a sensory thing. Have you seen those?
Yes.
It's kind of like
that, but it was like
it was just
on
one
its
of them
own.
and on its own. Yeah,
They were like kind of
they were thick. They were sometimes hard to flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Huh. So weird. What are we doing?
I don't know. Okay, this is the last toy I'll mention. Do you remember those glitter gel tubes that I think I looked up? There was one name came up. They called them water wigglers. And it would be like these tubes filled with like gel and glitter.
You get them from Rainforest Cafe?
Yeah, you
Sometimes
could.
they'd have little like animals or like little...
Yeah, inside of them. Yeah, they'd have like little like plastic animals.
People get weird with them?
Maybe some. I don't want to think about that. But it was just like another sensory thing that was like satisfying to like squeeze. But
I would still have one of those to this day.
Honestly, I'd be afraid I'd squeeze it too tight like a stress ball and then it'd pop glitter everywhere.
Would it? You think it would?
I don't know. We should you know what? We should do like a bonus
Go to
content.
Rainforest
We have a
Cafe.
video podcast. Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
That too. I'm so down to go to Rainforest Cafe with you, by the way.
We talked about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah. We'll make plans. So, but like we get all these toys and we test them out again.
Yes. And like rate them.
Yes.
Like what is worth it still to this day? Yes.
Okay.
Do you ever remember I don't know if you ever did this with me, but like making your own, oh gosh. It was like you would mix like cornstarch and water, maybe one other ingredient, and then you'd like put your hand in it, and if you like grabbed it, it would like solidify.
Yes.
And then like
I hate the feeling of cornstarch though.
You would let go and it would like go back to liquid form.
Yes.
It was like an at-home like science experiment.
That's so cute.
I know.
That we would do those.
I know.
I mean, like I feel like we did a lot of like little at-home science experience.
Yeah.
Experiences? What? Experiments.
I mean, they were experiences too.
There are literally so many things that we have on this list. So let's each pick like one more.
What is your final one, Megan?
My final one is, do you remember when DVDs used to have like bonus content CDs with like games on them?
Oh, yes.
Specifically.
The best.
I like looked this up because I was like, was this a fever dream? And then I found a Reddit thread with like and a YouTube video to confirm that no, it was not, and that there are dozens of us. But there are
dozens of us.
Lion King 1.5 had a bonus like safari adventure with Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh,
it was like
my gosh.
interactive. You could like choose like with your remote, like if you were going to go left or right. And the amount
it's like the Jungle Cruise.
Yes, it's like the Jungle Cruise at
it was supposed to be like the Disney ride, right?
Yeah, it was very like basically.
Yeah, because they're like making like bad jokes and stuff.
Yeah. Totally, the whole time.
Wait, can we quickly? Lion King 1.5, the best Lion King.
I'll get back to you on that.
No shot. You agree?
No, I agreed until recently when I rewatched it, and I should have left it in my nostalgia.
Yeah,
I should have left it in my nostalgia.
It was so good.
Some things are better left in your nostalgia, and you should just enjoy them and savor them there.
It's still the best one in my heart.
Okay.
But the game.
Yeah. Okay. But there was games, okay? So there was like the Safari one for Lion King 1.5, and the amount of hours that I put into that thing.
Was it even, like, what was the goal?
I don't know. I
Like
would
to get out of the Jungle Cruise?
I don't know how old I was because like I don't want to look up what year it came out, but I would like pretend that I was on the ride.
Oh. She really was like sitting there, like pretending like she was on the boat, like going like
yeah,
this.
literally. I'd be like, whoa, hold on. Okay. And
the hippos.
Shrek had one called Far, Far Away Idol, which was a play on American Idol. And Simon Cowell
so good.
was in it.
Yes.
And the funniest part of all, like, if you ended up choosing someone he didn't like, he would just be like, actually, I'm the winner. And he would, sing a song. Incredible. No
Iconic.
notes.
You don't understand. Iconic.
And then the one I couldn't find anything about online was Gold Member, as in Austin Powers Gold Member, had a bonus content game.
Yes, I remember this.
You could redub scenes from the movie. It would like give you a time, like a count in, and you would like reenact the lines and record your voice. I think you would do this one on a computer. You would take the same disc, put it in your computer, and then it would use the microphone on the computer to redub the scene. Yes. And you could watch it back with your voice. We would spend hours doing that. We weren't allowed to watch the movie.
We had
but
never
for some
seen
reason
the movie,
we could
but
play
my
that game.
parents thought it was entertaining that we were like dubbing the voices, and they thought it was really funny. So they would just let us like play the game.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you remember this because when I tell you, I could not find anything online.
No, I remember that. I remember that vividly. We need to bring that back. We need to bring back the bonus content for these movies and
more bonus games.
More bonus games. That's all we ask for. Okay, my last one is we had this like toy that was 20 questions. Do you remember that game? 20 questions.
And I remember this toy.
So basically it would ask you questions to try to guess like the thing or whatever.
Try to guess what you were thinking.
What you were thinking.
So you would think of something in your head privately.
Megan's very traumatized.
And then
Megan's like privately.
The toy, like this little round red ball, would ask you questions.
Yeah, for example, let's say in my mind I was like, okay, I'm thinking of dog. Okay.
Dogs are barking.
Then it'd be like, it would start asking you questions, and within those 20 questions, it would guess what you were thinking. This thing, I just spit because I'm passionate. This thing was scary accurate. Scary accurate.
I don't think it ever lost.
And I looked this thing up because I was like, can you still buy this? Okay, they don't actually make it anymore. But
I'll tell you why.
Because it's sorcery.
Because an actual tiny wizard lived inside each one, and they
ran out of tiny wizards.
Okay.
To buy it used $100 at least minimum.
Dude, this thing was sorcery. To this day, it still haunts me. Like if someone was like, Megan, what's one of the scariest experiences you've ever had in your life?
What's your Roman Empire?
Or something. Yeah, exactly. Something that, I'd write in for like a haunted Halloween like podcast or something. They're like, hey, send in scary stories. This would be mine.
Not the Teletubby.
Not the Teletubby.
That was separate.
This was just me alone with this game. I had this red 20 questions, just like it's this little circle game. I was holding it in my hand.
It kind of looks like a magic 8-ball.
Yeah.
And it only has like 3 buttons on it.
And so, it would ask a question and I'd be like, I have to, tell if it
yes or no.
Yes or no. Because it'd ask a yes or no question. Or you could say maybe, I think, too.
Yeah, it was yes. The 3 buttons were yes, no, maybe. And then it had this little like pixel screen.
Yeah.
That was like just so tiny that you could just like read the questions.
Yeah.
And then you could hit yes, no, or maybe.
So, I was waiting as each question just kind of scrolled across the screen.
Yes.
The word I chose, because I thought, I'm going to trick this thing, all right? I'm going to say envelope, but not any kind of envelope. I'm specifically thinking of an empty envelope. Very specific. This thing guessed it correctly. And I threw this, that's probably why we don't have it anymore. I threw this thing across the room because I was like, oh, heck no! This thing has a real wizard.
It's in my brain.
It's in my head. The sorcery. A real wizard lives inside of this.
And how many questions did it ask you? Do you remember how many it guessed?
It got to the very last one. It took all 20 questions.
Okay, because it didn't always take 20 questions.
No, it took all 20 questions.
Because it'd be like, can I take a guess now?
But it got it. Yes. But one of the common questions would be like, is it bigger than a loaf of bread? Is it smaller than a loaf of bread? That was like one of the common ones I remember.
If someone wants to buy us this,
no, please don't. It's okay.
Please buy it.
Please don't. It's okay.
I would love that for Christmas.
Don't tell anyone our P.O. box, please. Please. No, it's okay.
Just consider it. It's a gift. I think
when we thinking about
you
this
thought
all
you
week.
were smarter than you were. Maybe. Maybe if you said like snotty tissue or something.
I'm telling you, it would have gotten it. Why didn't he just say envelope, Maddie? Why did he not just say envelope?
Why is it a he?
I don't know which it is.
It's always a man. Thinking he's smarter than me.
Well, we could go on and on with nostalgic things like items, toys, experiences, TV shows.
Absolutely.
And we will continue
and
to
that's why we
because
started a podcast about it.
that's why we're here. So if you enjoy nostalgic content, be sure to follow us here at the Fuzzy Pod. We can't wait to have you at future episodes. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review. And did I miss anything, Maddie?
Leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite toy from your childhood was or
Please.
something that we missed. We'd love to hear from you guys. And don't forget to follow us over on our Instagram. And thank you guys. We love you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.